To help us understand the economic effect of layoffs and the stock market, let's bring in Chris Markowski. He is host of the Watchdog on Wall Street radio show and president of Markowski Investments. Chris, good to see you. Thanks for staying up with us. I was heartened today to see the Dow up a little bit, 200 points, but even more heartened that we didn't have another 1,000-point swing for the first time in 8 days. Do you get the feeling that at least maybe temporarily we might be done with these wild, erratic swings?
Oh, Trace, from your mouth to God's ears. You turn your head away from the screen for a couple seconds, and the markets still are moving in 200 to 300 point swings. It's extraordinary. And the reality is that's not individual investors out there. There's a lot of high-speed trading firms out there and a lot of leverage that needs to go away in the system. But I agree with you totally. It was good to see. It was actually good to see that it wasn't even up 1,000 points. It was a slower move to the upside. We just got to bring it back to some sort of normalcy.
If it's the high-frequency traders that are causing all this up and down chaos, can't we just get on the phone with these guys, Chris, and tell them to knock it off?
Good luck with that. They write nice checks to politicians, too. I'm not a big fan of their business model as much as anybody else is. And there's actually some calls now. The government's actually, the SEC is actually talking about bringing back the uptick rule. And it's kind of a little bit on the confusing side, but it doesn't allow these guys to short stocks unless there's a trade on the upside.
Yeah, I want to play this soundbite, if I can, Chris, about this researcher and what he thinks the economic impact is going to be, and I'll get your response on the flip side.
Well, we continue to go through an undulation pattern, one day up by multiple percentage points, another day down by a similar amount. And I think technicians are getting to the point where they're saying, you know what, this rubber band has been stretched far enough. And as a result, we're likely to see at least a relief rally take place in the days or weeks ahead. Certainly, the government is making every effort to do as much as it can to thwart the economic impact, but that will later be seen in economic data as well as corporate profits.
What he's saying, Chris, is if this was baseball, we'd have our rally caps on backwards, and that, you know, maybe it would work for us, generate a little bit of mojo for a little bit of good fortune at the corner of Wall and Broad.
Listen, once the all clear sound comes on. This is the reality. Once everybody knows that I can go back to work, then we're going to see a rally like you've never seen before. My clients all over the country, most of them are small business owners. They're calling me up. They're not worried about their accounts. They know that they own high-quality companies. They're long-term investors. You know why they're calling me? They're worried about their workers, their employees, and whether or not they're going to be able to keep them on, and whether or not they're going to be able to, handle their health insurance. That's what everybody cares about right now. Once we know everybody can go back to work, then you're going to see a relief rally.
What about you, Chris? Are you concerned about this California stay-at-home mandate? It just means more businesses are closing, means we might kind of extend the pain a little bit longer?
I think we need an end date. I think that you can put this type of thing on, and I understand that, but you have to say, okay, we're going back to work in 30 days, 45 days, whatever it may be. People can make plans then. You cannot leave something like this open-ended. You can't keep the United States shut down for too long a period of time.
That's the question, is how long can the economy take this? I mean, it would be great because all people really need is some light at the end of the tunnel. That's what humans do. If they could see some light at the end of the tunnel, they can hunker down and they can persevere. But when it's endless, it's really hard to stay motivated.
You're very astute in your observation. I agree with you 110%. I think the government has to put some sort of light at the end of the day. They have to put that end date on, saying we are doing this for this long, and then everybody goes back to work.
Do you think, and I got to go here, but do you think that the government's going to do more in the days and weeks ahead than they're doing now?
Well, right now they're battling it out in the Senate, trying to figure out how much money and how much is going to go out to people. And I think that they have to. I think that's not a bad bailout. It's just about the number. I think they're going to do what they need to do at this point in time. It's not American workers. It's not small business owners' fault.
Right. Chris Markowski, good of you, sir. Thank you.